Alright, so as I have no more Novi Stars doll heads at the moment, and I want to create another spirit, a winter spirit, I'm actually going to do a few winter fairy spirits using different heads than before. I've got this head, which was a dog doll of some sort. I don't even know what the brand was anymore. I've forgotten. It had a stiff body. I didn't like it. But I thought, oh, the big eyes, the face I can sculpt on top of will make a nice spirit doll. And I've got this ever after high body, which has the leggings moulded on, which is a little bit annoying. I don't like moulded on clothes, but it's got snowflakes and swirls on it, and I thought, oh, that would be nice. And I'm gonna put this head on this body to create a winter fairy spirit. Then I have this, I think it was a Bratz, something along those lines, a goth kind of doll. Is an MGA doll. This was the head. Has interesting shape. I cut the eyes bigger, and I'm going to sand around that as well to make that smooth. So this is going to be another winter fairy spirit because she's pale, and I'm going to probably sculpt on the face as well. Then I also have I wanted to do a Rainbow High repaint for quite some time. I think they're really pretty dolls, and I really want to repaint one. So I have this one I got in the charity shop. She's in pretty good condition. I've already brushed her hair. Her hair is lovely, and I think it's a beautiful colour. And I'm going to repaint this one. I'm going to turn her into a winter fairy also. I'm not going to sculpt anything on the face. I will do the ears though, give her the pointy ears for fairy. And I do need to pop her head off and pop these eyes out somehow. I get these eyelashes out. I don't like these white eyelashes. Although they would suit the theme, I don't like them being white. I might end up not popping the eyes out though. See how I get on. I haven't done one of these before, and it could end up disastrous. So there we are. That's my plans for these 3 dolls. I'm not going to film all the process just because I will forget to, and my brain forgets to stop recording to keep it nice and short as well to upload. Anything that's longer than a few minutes tends to have problems on the software I use, so I'm sorry. If you want to see more process, you'll have to let me know, because I have to get into the habit of filming more and also looking at the camera rather than the screen. It's got to be annoying for you guys. I do apologise. Anyway, interesting thing about this animal head, it was a dog of some sort. The eyes that came out of it were actually teardrop shape, which is really bizarre. But I do have these, I have resin eyes that I bought moulds for to do these, and these are the large ones and they fit. So I'm going to utilise these ones I cast. They didn't cast perfectly because there was an air bubble here, but I'll fill that and probably paint over the resin anyway, and paint in the eyes. So that's the eyes I'm going to use in this head. Here we go. Let's do it. Okay, current progress with this doll. I've got the eyes slotted in the head. I will glue them in place and put the back of the head on, so then I can start sculpting on the face as well. I don't normally put the eyes in at this point, especially when they're resin ones, mainly because obviously it becomes a bit difficult, but because I haven't painted them yet and I can actually fill the resin in over the top of the clear resin once I've painted in during the face up process on this one, I'm not too worried. Just trying it a different way. So I'll have to put something in the head to stop it being so flexible for sculpting on it, so everything doesn't pop off. I will put wire in here as an armature for the ears. She's going to have nice big elf ears because she is going to be a fairy after all. And I haven't completely got rid of all the lines yet on here, but I'm not going to be too fussy because she is meant to be like wearing tights. It's like she's wearing tights, so I'm not going to worry too much about that because obviously she has her creases here, so it's kind of like a cross between leggings and tights, I suppose she's wearing. So that is the current progress on this doll. And on the other one I have been cutting out the eyes a bit more because I want them a bit bigger. This is a Bratzilla doll, that's what it is. I couldn't think of what it was. So yeah, she will get the elf ears as well. I'm thinking of making her head a bit more squat, so I might cut the top of her head off and actually sculpt a new cap for her head, just because I don't like her massive forehead. I mean, I have a 5 head myself, and she's got a 6 head. I don't really want that on a fairy. I think they should be more kind of pixie proportions. So I still have to remove these horrible paint and see the raised areas on this doll. Her seam lines aren't too bad, so I'll probably leave those alone. Just give her a light sanding so that the Mr. Super Clear has something to grip onto better. I mean, saying that, yeah, a light sanding will probably do. And that's the progress so far. It's a crappy day here. I don't have long to work on these today, so I'll just get on with it. So for those of you wondering where quality control was in the last video, here she is. Headbutting the table. Yep. She keeps pawing at me every time I try and work on my current doll here. She obviously wants to be a part of it. So here she is. Say hello. Isn't she adorable? She is going to be 19 in May. Bless her heart. Still with us. Right, on with the project. With supervision, of course. So I have removed most of the mould lines from the leggings or tights, whatever you want to call them, on this doll. They are still slightly visible, but nowhere near as much as they were, so I'm much happier now. I still have to do the body though, especially getting rid of all this writing. So this join line here, seam, and the arms are quite prominent as well down here. I really don't like seam lines. I think it's the miniature painter in me. So I'm going to carry on and get rid of those. Again, I'm going to use a knife rather than a file or sandpaper. You may be wondering why I use a craft knife. This is mostly to reduce the amount of dust that is produced in the workshop, because having cats as well, I don't want them to be breathing in any of the dust. Obviously they can't wear masks like we can, and there's not enough ventilation in here to not be wearing one, so this is why I use a knife primarily. So on with it. That has taken me what was the time? From about 12 o'clock, and it's now almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's taken me the best part of 3 hours to do. I did have a couple of interruptions from quality control, and making myself a beverage or two. I'm a sucker for hot beverages, especially coffee, when I'm feeling so tired. So there we are, on with it, and let's do it. The lines were a little more prominent than I originally thought, especially under arm and over the shoulder. Or here, they were quite prominent. So I've sanded and scraped that back quite a bit. Evidence over here of where I've cut her head as well to make her 6 head into a more of a 4 head. Her eyes have been glued in already. One eye is slightly bigger than the other, the socket, so I will be filling that in when I do some sculpting on the head. So to stop these eyes just popping out and everything that I sculpt on this head popping off, I am going to fill it with this horrible foam clay that has little polystyrene bits in. It'll give it something to push against, yet it won't be completely solid, and it's nice and light. It will stop a certain amount of the squishing happening. I've already done the filling on this one's head, and tried to glue the skull cap back on. I've got masking tape holding it in place at the moment. It's not holding very well because I think I put a bit too much clay in there, but that's okay. I'll sort it out a bit later on if need be. There we are, that's that one. And yeah, so on with filling this one's head. Let's just open up this clay. And yeah, it's quite old, so it's already kind of a little bit set. It's not... Yeah, it's a bit gross. I'm just going to push this inside to fill the head, to help keep the eyes in place as well. So, as you can see in there, just filling it up. Oh, I lost her skull cap, by the way, which is no biggie because it was the wrong shape anyhow. But yeah, I must have vacuumed it up accidentally. Oops, never mind. These things happen. And I'll just use my foam clay, my really nice foam clay, which is cosplay one, to make the top of her head. After I see it, there we go. Filling that up, helping keep the eyes in place, and make sure that the head is kind of symmetrical. I think the eye position is the same. The bigger eye socket is throwing me off a little bit. That's fine. Let's give her a little bit of a dome on the top of her head. I can put the foam clay on. Cosplay foam clay, which is silky smooth and really lightweight. That's why I'm going to use it. Okay, make sure I get this nice even shape, because it's actually quite tough once it's dry, although slightly squidgy. It is quite tough. I think I'll use this up pretty much doing this. Once she's got a coating of foam clay on the top as well, bring it to the right height. Let's just push that in the back a bit more. Push it in so it's nice and solid in there. Nice and full. Her head's nice and full. Look. She has brains again. Yeah, I can always tear a bit of it or cut a bit of it off after if it's a bit too much. And there we are, it's just roughly done. There we go. You can see I've already started sculpting her face as well a little bit. A bit more natural. I'm going to give her a little pixie nose. I will smooth all this, of course, as well. Yeah. There we go. I've filled the head. And left, hopefully, enough kind of space to create the dome of her head on the top with a thin layer of the cosplay foam clay. Not a biggie if I put a bit too much. But yeah. There we go. Next job, once that's a bit dry, I'll put the wire in for the ears. Same on the other doll's head as well. So here's the progress on these two winter spirit fairies, whatever you want to call them, whatever I'm working on. I don't know, I don't have clear vision in my head, but yeah. So I'm transforming this Bratzilla face because I do not like the Bratzilla faces. To me they are just ugly. So this is what I've done so far. I've taken a bit out of the lip C to give her a better Cupid's bow, and I've taken a little bit off under the lip. I'm still not happy with that. I am gonna transform her more to make her look more alien, I think. The ears aren't quite symmetrical, but oh well, that's, they've kind of set now in that position. the main part of those, so that's the position they're going to be in now. Ha! And this one is looking really cute. I love the big ears. It suits the animalistic face, but I might change that animalistic face still. I'm not sure. I'm going to give bigger eyelids / eyebrows like the Novi stars, which I'm doing to that one. So siren's going off. Fantastic. They're always going off around here. Anyway, that is where I've got to. I've just heard Freya in the background as well. Okay, on with the project.